Hey everyone, we're back here at Black Hat, still back off the floor in our suite here, studio suite doing videos. I'm really happy to have my next friend up. I think I mentioned it on a few videos today. One of the nice things about coming to Black Hat, RSA, industry gatherings, unfortunately it's only twice a year, but you get to meet with your friends. You get to meet with people who you've seen come up through the ranks with you, and their careers have gone in really interesting places, and they've done interesting things. My next guest here is one of those. His name's Fred Wilmot. I know Fred. Jeez. Fred, we know each other at least 15 years.
15 years, yeah.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
I think maybe more, to tell you the truth, because I was still at Still Secure.
That's right.
And I left Still Secure in 08.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It might be closer to
20.
18, 20 years.
Yeah.
But anyway, Fred is the founder of a company called Detecteam, and we're going to find out all about Detecteam. But let's first let me embarrass Fred a little bit and share your story, your journey with the team here.
So I started off after I got out of the Navy. I went to go work for IBM and moved out to Seattle, where there was this burgeoning scene of startups, and it was the first wave of startups where myfavoriteshoe.com was there and all these things.
Yeah.
And I hadn't done any security work at all before. And I started working at this company called Terrabeam, which at that time was $600 million in venture funding. Dan Hesse, the CEO of AT&T Wireless, like whole thing. And I ran into some really interesting characters over there that were probably all on, CIA work release programs, but some of the best security guys that I've ever met. And sort of have one of those moments of clarity. First time you compile a kernel, first time you figure out how to do something and exploit a system, all of these types of things. And it was just intoxicating from that perspective. So, from there on, I spent a bunch of time doing that. That's managed services stuff and, forensics and incident response and detection engineering. And then I went to go work for sort of like this weird curve of work for a vendor, work for, a commercial entity or something like that.
But that's a well-rounded career, right? Going on both sides of the street.
Yeah. And I think that actually really serves you well when you try to figure out, am I building something that's purposeful? And if I were a person using it, do I even care?
Right. What's that person's experience like? What's their point of view?
That's right. So a few of those curves, spent some time at Symantec and Disney, and then I went to Splunk, unwillingly went to Splunk when it was super small, and I was probably the first security person there that they hired in the field. And we started doing a bunch of work there, building products and building services, and eventually this thing, Enterprise Security, came to be, and that was a lot of fun. And we spent a lot of time with customers actually solving problems, and that was really intriguing. And then I sort of got hooked on this machine learning, automated data science platform thing. I did some of that. And I spent some time with Richard Clark and Mudge Zatko, and we tried to build sort of this ensemble model that would help find adversaries of the advanced persistent threat nature. And eventually went to Packet Sled, and which was if you could drop a Packet Sled box in any environment and as an instant response tool, we could find bad guys in 48 hours, right, and take action. And that was used widely by, even the CrowdStrike guys and some other Cylance guys on their forensics and programs for customers. So a lot of fun there. I then went to Devo to build something to take out the Splunk product, Enterprise Security, called SecOps, and that was an awful lot of fun. It was a great opportunity. I also was CISO there too. I had the luxury of going back and forth to Spain every couple of weeks.
For you.
Poor me.
Devo was Madrid, wasn't it?
Devo was Madrid, and I was the only engineering leader in the US. And so awesome opportunity to go build rapport, get culturally, embedded.
Some, black acorn hamon.
Oh, at Hamon, the top shelf.
Oh, yeah.
Spectacular. And
olive
really
oil.
The culture of the people there is
spectacular. It is a spectacular country.
Yeah.
Spectacular people.
Yeah.
Agreed. One of my favorite places.
And then after that, I wound up at a little startup That's an identity provider called JumpCloud.
I think I heard of them.
Yeah, not too tiny anymore, but a lot of really cool, interesting problem space there. And I thought, no, I haven't done identity yet in my career, and it's so critical. I mean, and we know today.
Well,
it's
it just
big.
came out this week, right? 25 billion worth of critical right there.
That's right.
Of course, not Jump Cloud. I wish my friend Roger the best with
Yeah,
that, but
yeah.
in this case, it was CyberArk and the folks at Palo Alto. So after Jump Cloud, tell us.
Yeah, so JumpCloud, then I was doing sort of just CISO work, so kind of in my mind, that was a part-time job. Not because the CISO job is part-time, but because I've always done products and engineering and CISO things. So for me, it was great, but I wanted to build something. So I went to go work with Nick Lanta and some guys to sort of build we built the first CTEM platform, as it were, and wanted to create this risk index and so on. And that was really preparatory work because I felt there's a bunch of things that I needed to learn, even though I, sort of got battlefield promoted as a CEO while at Packet Sled. There were a bunch of things I thought I needed to learn. I thought Nick would be a great mentor for me there. So after leaving there, I came to start this company with my buddy Sebastian called Detecteam, and this was born out of the problem that a lot of customers asked us over time. And I felt very guilty that we had been building rules and, correlation rules and these searches and that over all these years, to know that they don't actually really work all that well, or you're not sure whether they do work. And, customers would ask us regularly, like, what does this thing do? And I could show you how we tested it. I could show you the things, but I couldn't tell you would actually find something with that. So we started the ideology of the tech team because of that problem. And we got to put it in the water through the 16th Air Force at the time. We were doing something to help build their cyber weapons platform capabilities so that cyber weapons officers could find bad guys. So we started creating scenarios that would help, identify different areas where this characteristic or these behaviors and this order of operations would help signal what this would look like if this were an advanced persistent threat over time, over these behaviors and systems, and as it scales out, including building, hydrating the same organic size of an environment as a base or a network or, JPMC or, whatever. And through that, we realized there's a path here to not only help figure out how to write great detections, but also how to make sure your responders know what to do when that happens and that your responses work the way they're supposed to. So we founded Detecteam, and
What a great story.
it's been a lot of fun. It's been a great ride.
You're a humble man, Fred, right? There was a lot of, so having not walked in your shoes, but walked alongside you, let's say, during all these adventures you've been on, I think you underplayed your role in the success and kind of groundbreaking kind of work, right? When it comes to security and looking at things differently in new ways and making it better. But here we are. Here we are. Understood what Detecteam is about, how, what was the idea behind it. Did you think you'd be sitting here, Black Hat 2025, and you go down to that floor? You've been down to that floor. You can't say a sentence without the word AI in it. People are talking about replacing security people with AI things and agents. I was interviewing the CEO of Qualys, my friend Sumed,
Yep.
about their AI, agentic AI ROC, Risk Operations Center. And basically, it's funny, you bring up a page of, okay, what do you want an agent to do? You need an agent for Patch Tuesday? You press a button, it says employ, like that you really
Absolutely.
hiring someone.
Yeah.
You want an agent to do this? Boom, you hit the employ button for that. They have names, the agents, Sarah for Patch Tuesday, Debbie for this, and Tom for that. how does that vision and where this is taking us, where does that leave Detecteam? Is that something you guys piggyback, ride? Is it something, hey, when you're done playing with that, come over here? How does this all fit in?
That's a great question. There's a lot of promise in all of the capabilities that AI can help materialize.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those things that we see and we talk about all the time,
Yeah.
if you've done it 15 times in 15 minutes, then that's an automation problem that should be solved.
Right.
If you have something that you spend the same logic filters on the understanding of this problem space and you do that over and over again, also automatable.
Right.
SOAR, automatable. Okay. Those types of things that are process automation problems, great. Some of the inference things, also great. However, the challenge is today the bar is pretty low to do something impactful, I think, to optimize a low bar of process achievement, to operationalize a better way to look at intelligence data or to grasp more information and more context or more semantic analysis of a set of data we didn't have access to before. But fundamentally, that doesn't make you any more secure. And part of the challenge that, we look at here, we use AI too, sure. We've got a very small team. If we're not using AI, that's not very smart of us. However, validation, confirmation, and transparency, all those problems we always used to talk about, governance and provenance, have to be front row seats if you're going to say anything is evidence.
Yeah.
So if we're going to prevent, certain things from happening or detect certain things that are happening, we have to have cause. Otherwise, how do you know what you did, when you did it, and when it changes again?
Yeah.
The context window of problems is not that big. And the number of tokens you spend to do certain things, right, has an effect on how high quality it is, which model you're using, how many parameters, all the things. But the bottom line is there's an awful lot of value in helping automate that process to reduce time, increase expertise, apply to the problem. But it's pretty critical to make sure you have smart security people doing the real work.
And I don't think, excuse me, I don't think that's changing anytime soon.
I don't think so either.
And I think pretty smart security people will leverage AI because they're smart enough to do that, not run from it. So I think that's going to make a big change. As you sit here, though, we look back, we looked at where we are, let's look ahead. How do you see the mission at Detecteam changing, morphing, evolving, short term, 6 months, 12 months, longer term? Can't go too long because we can't see more than 24, but 18,
There's a horizon.
24 months. Right. That's the horizon. Where do you see Detecteam?
So we are really interested in becoming sort of the arbiter of truth around detection engineering. We have a platform that we think everyone can use. We understand everyone's languages, a Rosetta Stone.
Mm-hmm.
And while it's interesting to say those things, it's more interesting to say, help me understand accuracy, help me understand quality, help me understand coverage. And if an industry can rally around a single way of scoring, measuring, evaluating, and deploying, a rising tide will raise all boats. So if we thought about it, we would say every SIM should use us internally. All customers that are building detection should use us. It doesn't have to be built in AI. You can use fixed objects. You can write your own things.
Yep.
You can craft anything you want. But most importantly, it's a harness. It's a testing harness. And so when we decide that we want to build a detection, or I want to take some finished national intelligence from CISA or something, I turn that into a scenario. I generate all the data from every class and type of data that it should generate based on the TTPs. I can send those anywhere they need to go. I can send those everywhere they need to go. I can send that from multiple clouds into every place it needs to go in every place on the planet. And then we can generate detections that are illustrative of the context of your environment, or don't turn context on because you want none of that information to be involved. So when we think about that, there's a lot of, I think, hyperbole around generate me a thing, right? Go get me some Claude code action here and generate a bunch of detections or generate a bunch of data. And there's a lot of challenges in making sure you have the right answers, not just answers. So we think if we give the community an opportunity to build right answers, right, they'll glom onto that and take charge. And that will, that will help the industry in that sense. And so we think that's a great opportunity.
Love it. Hey, I'm going to pivot a little bit. This is not necessarily your security question, but I'm going to give you a CEO question.
Sure.
It's a crowded floor out there at Black Hat. Security, the last time I looked, I think it was 6,000 or 6,500 venture-backed security companies.
Right.
Or public, commercial security companies. AI changing the game in marketing, go-to-market, not just in how we're using it for better security. How do you as a CEO make sure that Detecteam gets its fair share?
That's a great question. I believe at this stage of the company, and maybe my whole career, the proof is in the pudding to start with. So you have to be able to operate with your friends, your peers. You've established credibility over the course of your career by doing the right thing and doing something purposeful, meaningful that you can stand behind. We've been fortunate to have a lot of communication with folks that I've seen that have done that and participate. That indirectly answers your question because all of the AI first companies that are now using AI to build their marketing, right? I did an exercise the other day where I took 5 marketing messages and put them next to each other and asked people which products they were for. And of course, most of them are wrong. And the rationale is because everybody does sort of a good click through on that, builds their slides this way, right? They're building websites in the same way, hiring people with resumes, same problem. And so what do? It's actually rolled the clock back. And so just like a handshake, just like a phone call, right? These are the ways that, we know people are starting to get back to
Relationships
business.
matter.
Relationships matter, turns out.
Yeah, it's
And,
always been true.
And I think that's the thing that we've sort of leaned into heavily. Down the road, I think this is going to become a little bit more chaotic, and obviously more of the traffic that's been generated around marketing, messaging, communication on the internet, as more and more bots, continue to communicate with one another. I believe there's going to be sort of a turn-off moment here for some of those behaviors, and people are going to have to figure out how to sell something that matters of value to people that they know and that they don't know in new ways.
Yeah.
So it is a challenge. I don't see anybody's.
No, I think there's a lot of marketing people in security that are just kind of pulling their hair out if they have hair. That said, how do you play in this field? I mean, it's a different stadium. Anyway, Fred, we're going to wrap up, but for people who want to get more about Detecteam, where should they go?
Detecteam.com. Feel free to reach us out there. You can get us on Twitter at Detecting Inc. or feel free to send me an email, Fred at. Happy to wrap with you, for sure.
Absolutely. And if you like listening to Fred, he's usually on Friday mornings.
Friday mornings.
Well, we record Friday mornings, but it's Monday. He's usually on Monday mornings. The other way, we record Thursday and it's on Friday.
Yeah.
But you could see him on the Textron Gang.
How you doing?
Good. Who are you?
Housekeeping.
Oh, can you come back? We're just recording something.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, what's this?
Nothing. We're good.
Okay.
Bye-bye. What the fuck was that?
Housekeeping. You want to round them up again?
Land shark. Yeah, let me.
Just do the last
All right,
round.
let me wrap it up and we're done. So you're on Fridays that plays Mondays, or you're on Thursdays that plays Friday?
I'm on
Because
Thursdays.
usually you're on with Ira.
That's right. Yeah, I love
That's
it.
my good security day.
We're the tandem, right? The yin and yang.
Ira's yeah, he's here. I saw him yesterday. Ira. All right,
Yeah.
Give me come back.
Count it back. Oh, I thought that was your wrap up.
No, well, but housekeeping came, the land shark.
You know what I'm saying, but you just did.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay, 3, 2.
All right. And, if you like listening to what Fred says, and Fred always has a lot of good stuff to say. He's a regular on Textron Gang. You can catch him most on our Friday morning shows. And he's usually on with Ira Winkler, which makes for a real powerhouse cyber team on the gang that day. So check that out on wherever you're watching Textron Gang on. Until then, though, this is Alan Schimmel. We're going to head one more time back to the floor at Black Hat. We'll wrap up from there, and we'll call it a day on our Black Hat 2025 coverage. Hope you've enjoyed it. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.